All right. And good afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Dylan Federico here. We're taking a look at all of the weather that's going on around the state of Texas today, and also what we can expect here in the coming days and into next week as well. Just a couple of things to note as well. We did get some information about at least one of the tornadoes that happened yesterday in Anderson County, and we're still waiting to get some more information on potentially another tornado or two that may or may not have occurred yesterday. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So, National Weather Service in Fort Worth about 20 minutes ago let us know that they did find an EF0 tornado near Frankston with 85-mile-per-hour winds. They didn't give us an exact time, so we'll just go with Tuesday afternoon for now. But we did find some building damage and some tree damage where that tornado occurred as well. And like I was saying, there may have been another spot or two as well that may have seen a tornado. So we'll get that to you as soon as that information gets out. All right, so here's what we're looking at in the coming days. A few notes. Stray storm possible this evening here in North Texas. I think if we do see anything, it will be south of Interstate 20. That's just where I'm seeing that potentially happening on our computer models. If something does pop up, could be on the stronger side, but overall, though, I would say 10-20% coverage at most. Beyond that, rain chances are staying pretty low over the next several days. I would say 10-20% max through at least Saturday. So it's going to be much quieter than it was to start off the week. And those rain chances do stay low through Saturday. Right now, it's just a stray shower for Thursday. Friday, slightly higher coverage, 20%, and we're just talking showers. And then Saturday, I would say those rain chances have trended down as well. But then beyond that, next week, lots of sun expected starting on Mother's Day, and we really crank up the heat after that. We could be talking about widespread 90s here in the Metroplex, with some of our western zones flirting with triples, with 100s for much of interior Texas heading into the middle parts of next week. All right, so here's what we're looking at right now. Nice day out there. Those clouds from earlier have mixed out. Nice to get a little bit of a sunny change after the weather we had yesterday. It feels good, 74 right now. A little breeze out of the north at 12. And otherwise, things are feeling pretty good out there across the rest of the area as well. In the Metroplex, low to mid 70s. And we have lower to mid 70s pretty much everywhere else across the viewing area as well. So get out and enjoy it because this time next week we very well could be talking about 90s and maybe even some triples in some spots. As far as how it actually feels out there, though, here's the muggy meter. Pleasant at the moment, dew point 59. So good feeling air this afternoon. Get out and enjoy it for sure. The only issue that we're running into is those pollen levels. Mold high at the moment, grass medium levels, then tree pollen's a little bit lower as well. And those top allergens continue to be oak, grass, and Osage orange as well. So pollen remains high at the moment. All right, so let's talk about the rest of today. I think for the most part we stayed dry, but with that heating this afternoon, I can't rule out an isolated shower or two popping up south of Interstate 20 later on this evening. This is our future cast for 9 o'clock. Notice there's that one shower off to the southwest, but the vast majority of us do stay dry. And by the way, if you're heading up to Oklahoma, there may be some higher coverage up there, and one or two storms north of the Red River could be on the stronger side. Storm Prediction Center does have a low end level 1 marginal risk up there. But otherwise, looking ahead to tomorrow, nice start to the day. I'm expecting lots of sun in the morning. But as we get later on to tomorrow afternoon, clouds do start to increase, especially towards the evening. And once again, some showers are possible, mainly south of Interstate 20. I think that's where the best chance of rain will be during the evening hours on Thursday. Okay. So beyond that, looking ahead to tonight, things are looking good this evening. Stray storm south, otherwise partly cloudy skies. Temperatures in the 70s. Sunset 8:15, so we're getting later and later now with those sunsets, and winds staying pretty light out the northwest at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. As far as the rest of the night goes, like I said, a stray storm early, and there'll be a few clouds around overnight as well, but otherwise feeling very nice out there with temperatures in the lower 60s to upper 50s outside of DFW. Looking ahead to tomorrow, like I said, nice start to the day, but I think there will be more clouds as we get into the afternoon hours, and that should keep us in the mid 70s during the day. Breezy at times as well. Winds out the northwest at 10 to 15 could gust a little bit higher than that. As far as rain chances go over the next several days, a stray storm possible as we get into this evening, mainly down to the south. Beyond that, Thursday, stray shower once again, but mainly down to the south, especially south of I-20. Friday, I think there's going to be a little bit higher coverage that day as an upper level low approaches from the north. But still, even then, we're just talking 20% coverage. And then on Saturday, once again, fairly low coverage, just a stray shower potentially. And then Mother's Day looking fantastic. And we probably will not see much rain beyond that for a while. The pattern next week looking pretty hot and dry through at least next Wednesday or next Thursday. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back in about 2.5 minutes. So that's why we did throw in a break in there. But obviously, if you're watching this on Facebook Live, there are no actual breaks going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over to this graphic and talk about what we're looking at heading into next week, because we actually have some pretty big changes coming with our weather once we get past this weekend. So through Mother's Day, it's much of the same. High temperatures in the 70s. We will certainly enjoy that because once we get to next week, we really start to crank up the heat here in North Texas. Notice we're in the mid 80s on Monday. By next Tuesday, we're right at 90. And then next Wednesday, we very well could be talking about mid 90s here in the Metroplex. And some of our western zones very well could be talking about triple digit high temperatures. So let me show you the Texas wide temperatures heading into next week. Plenty warm next Tuesday, but once we get into next Wednesday and next Thursday, look at the temperatures across the state. Near the Rio Grande Valley, solidly into the 100s, even into West Texas, 103 San Angelo, and then here in DFW, lower to mid 90s, certainly a real possibility. Along the Gulf Coast, not as nearly as hot, but that's just because of the Gulf moisture keeping things a little bit more tame over there. And then Thursday, every bit as hot once again. Got triples down along the Rio Grande River, and then here in North Texas, mid 90s do continue. So it is looking much hotter as we head into this time next week. Here's why. When you look at the pattern ahead, ridge of high pressure building in from Mexico and over into the Gulf of Mexico. And what this does is it does a couple of things. Sinking air warms us up. It blocks clouds from developing. And overall, that just leads to hotter weather here across the state. And that's why our temperatures do go up into the 90s heading into next week. So much warmer ahead as we head into next week. Beyond that, who knows? Maybe we see some storm chances back by the following weekend. But overall, through the middle parts of May, warmer than average temperatures do return for the state of Texas, along with much of the southern United States as well. And that's all reflected in our forecast. You can see over the next 7 days, stray shower or storm for Thursday. Temperatures in the 70s once again. But we're just talking 10-20% coverage the next few days. Friday's our best shot at a few showers with 20%. And then as we head into Saturday, just a spotty shower once again, especially off to the southeast. But beyond that, we turn sunny starting on Mother's Day, 78 that day. So great to end the week at. And then next week, we turn sunny and hot with high temperatures trending from the mid 80s on Monday to the mid 90s as we head into the middle parts of next week. So what we'll do is we'll take a little break here, and when I get back, our chief Dan Henry has a few comments to make about some things that we're seeing around North Texas as well. All right, guys, we'll see you in just a minute.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Dan Henry here in the Forewarned Weather Center. Dylan just kind of gave you a rundown of what to expect weather-wise here over the next several days. I think the bottom line is we're going to transition into more of a quiet, tranquil weather pattern as so we head through Mother's Day weekend into next week with progressively warmer temperatures. It's going to be quite toasty as we head towards the middle of next week. We are also going to start to dry things out, and that may not be such a bad thing here. Rainfall has been plentiful so far. Officially at DFW, we are running a little over 3 inches above normal. Many reporting stations in North Texas are at least that much above normal. And we want to charge the reservoirs, the lakes, the rivers as much as possible this time of the year because obviously we know what happens come mid to late June through the summertime. We turn the taps off. And without much rainfall, that's when we see evaporation rates increasing and those water levels really start to go down. So it is good to have a wet spring here in North Texas. I want to throw some other numbers out at you. I know a lot of you are lake enthusiasts, maybe thinking about venturing out on the lakes for Mother's Day weekend. One lake that is going to be a big issue is Texoma. The water level there is 16 and a half feet above the conservation level. That is way above normal. And as a result, that has closed several picnic areas and facilities at least until May 22nd. That includes Lakeside Park, Juniper Point East and West, East Burns Run, West Burns Run, East Burns Run Day Use, Caney Creek, Buncombe Lake, to name a few. High water is going to mean, again, facilities could be closed, picnic areas, maybe even boat ramps. So if you're going to be venturing up to Lake Texoma, I would strongly suggest you call ahead to make sure that things are open. Some other lake levels, Tawakoni is a little over a foot above normal. Lavon, 3.8 feet above. Grapevine is 6.5 feet above normal. Now, with water levels that high, that may be encroaching on some picnic areas as well. Whitney, 2.6 feet above the conservation pool. Ray Roberts, +3. And Louisville, about 2 feet above normal. Here's the good news. We only have slight rain and storm chances in the forecast really through Friday. I think tomorrow's probably only about a 10% chance. Friday, 20, maybe up to 30% in the afternoon with what we call some instability, showers and storms that are going to be more likely as we heat things up in the afternoon. And anything that pops in the afternoon will likely dissipate very quickly as we head through Friday evening. And really don't expect a severe weather threat with these storms either. We are not outlooked by the Storm Prediction Center tomorrow or on Friday, meaning we're not even registering a marginal risk. That said, certainly there could be 1 or 2 storms that pulse up and briefly be strong with some gusty winds, mainly Friday afternoon, but the overall severe weather threat appears to be very low. And then really for the weekend, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, with high pressure dominating, we don't really see much of a chance of any rain or severe weather here in North Texas. So it looks like we're going to get a good break here coming up for the next week plus in North Texas as we start to feel some of the warmest temperatures that we've experienced so far this year towards the middle of next week. Water temperatures, by the way, in the lakes, still not too warm. They're in the upper 60s to low 70s. So that is still a little bit chilly. As we see those warmer temperatures next week, we'll likely see the water temperatures respond in kind. But until then, it will also be a little bit cooler on the lakes as well. Know that too. When we make a forecast, let's say for a high of 80 degrees at DFW, on the water, those cooler waters where temperatures are in the upper 60s to low 70s, winds are blowing out there, it is going to be 5, 6, 7 degrees cooler out on the water than it is on the land. And so you always need to be prepared for that as well. So that's kind of a wrap of what the weather looks like. We invite you to join us for Fox 4 News at 4 o'clock. Dylan will be coming along with a full wrap on the forecast there. And of course, I'll be along at 5 o'clock through 7 o'clock this evening for another look at your extended forecast and what to expect over Mother's Day weekend. Thanks for joining us. You guys have a great
the hump moving into this summer, like you've made it at this point, and this is going to be a continued recovery?
We have gotten over the hump. For us, as far as fundraising goes, we were miraculous.